Okay, so I made a whole Forza setup video with the wheel, gave you all the settings and all that stuff, and I was just ready to upload it. And then Forza changed their physics with an update. Changed all the wheel settings that I ran, so now we have all new wheel settings. I spent a couple hours yesterday just trying to figure out what works best here for the Fanatec. So I'm 80-90% satisfied with the setup of the wheel right now. There might be a few things to change to make it feel a little better. So if you have any suggestions, I'd like to hear them in the comments. If not, I hope I can help you guys out, help you get your wheels figured out, and get Forza working good for you. I'm also going to give a car setup, so I will give you the whole breakdown of the setup on the car as far as modifications and tune. So yeah, you'll get your wheel settings, your in-game wheel settings, setup, and mods. So you should be able to drive just like I drive here in Forza. So let's get on top of that. And we'll go to the wheel settings first, I guess, here, just because I already shot all the setup stuff, so I'll probably just switch to that because none of that changed, but the wheel settings changed dramatically, so we're going to go through those real quick while this is loading. Oh, it's done loading, but while we're here, let's go through the actual wheel settings. So first things first here, sensitivity. Oops, this thing is kind of broken, so you're gonna have to work with me here on this one. So sensitivity is at 900. Force feedback, oop, we had it at 24, I believe it was. The force feedback is really sensitive now, so too little and you won't really feel the wheel at all. Too much and it's just it just feels like it's shaking all over the place. So shock, we're down at 10. ABS, we're at 100. DRI, we're at -1. DRI kind of acts like power steering in a sense. The more negative you go with it, the more it's going to feel like the car doesn't have power steering or has, terrible caster with very bad self-centering. So I keep it at 0.01, which is actually below the drift setting. It's more road race setting that keeps the wheel from rotating too fast when I transition, so it kind of slows down the rotation of the wheel a little bit. So moving on, what do we got next? BRF, braking force, I have that set at 60, and that's it. So let's go into the in-game settings here. Okay, so we're gonna go to, what the hell? Oh, there it is. This new menu is all different now. It's hard to navigate. So we're gonna go to wheel options. We're gonna press X for advanced, and we are gonna go through, I guess we'll just go through all of them. So steering axis, dead zone inside 0, dead zone outside 10, acceleration inside 0, acceleration outside 100, decel inside 5, decel outside 75, clutch axis inside 15, clutch outside 90, handbrake inside 5, handbrake outside 90, vibration scale is set to 1. These are the ones that are really going to start to affect your wheel, all the acceleration and all that axis dead zone stuff. It's minimal adjustment here. So vibration scale is at 1, force feedback scale is set at 120, aligning torque scale at 69, mechanical trail scale at 150, pneumatic trail scale at 15. Let's go all the way down to the bottom here. So road feel scale, that's set at 60. Wheel damper scale we have set at 5. The center spring scale, I got some mixed information on this one. Some ran it really low. I found it preferably to run it pretty high. I feel like when it's Low, the steering wheel feels really vague around center, and I don't really like that feeling. I like it feeling really precise all throughout. And then steering linearity, we have at 50%. And that's it. So I'm going to start with some footage that is with the old physics, I guess you call it, before the update, and then we'll switch to new physics after the update, and you can kind of see the differences in how the wheel reacts and the changes that Forza made to make it work. Just an FYI though, I mean, when they changed the physics, this wheel felt terrible at first. I had to make a ton of adjustments to get it where it is now back to a sort of comfortable place, but after doing that, I feel like it's better. I feel like it's smoother transitioning. I feel like it's easier to catch the transitions. When you throw the car into a transition, it doesn't just swing to full lock immediately like it did before. So I'm going to get on there and show you how it's done. So there she is in all her beauty. Okay, so tuning and upgrades. We'll go over the upgrades first. Basically, I'm running the race engine block and the large supercharge, which puts me at 952 horsepower. I'm also not running any weight reduction, so the weight is still stock at 2,800 pounds, because dropping it down to 25 is just sort of unrealistic. We're never going to be that light in Formula Drift, so I'm going to keep it true to the game. I put the big brake kit on it because I like big brakes. And tires here. Oops. Knocked my camera out of whack there. I am running the stock tire compound, which is basically like a street tire. I'm not really into running the race tires when it comes to that's weird. Oh, not really into running the race tires when it comes to drifting, and definitely not going to run the drag tire compound. Front tire width, I'm running a 245 up front right now. You can go all the way up to a 275. Don't really think it's necessary. In the rear, I'm running a 295. I could go up to the 305. Sometimes I switch it up to that when I'm running with guys that are really fast in tandem. Yeah, that's all for the upgrades. Let's go to the tune. So tune, I'm running 15 psi rear, 30 psi front for the tires. Running a 4.7 gearing. I run that on most tracks. I move that around a little bit. That's really all I do as far as adjustment between tracks. Alignment, we're running -3 up front for camber, 0 for the rear. Toe would be 0 up front, -3 for the rear, so toe in 3 degrees in the rear. Front caster maxed out at 7 degrees, and we have 60 degrees maxed out on the steering angle. Roll bars, big differential here. We're looking at 28.44 and all the way soft in the back. Springs, 618 up front, 185 in the back. Big differential there too. Ride height is 7.8 in front, 7.0 in the rear. Shocks, rebound stiffness, 8.8 up front, 5.2 in the rear. Bump stiffness is 6.1 in the front and 2.1 in the rear. Downforce, we don't need that. Braking force, I usually run my front braking force at about 65 front. I like a little bit of bias towards the front. That could be a driver preference, honestly. I like to be able to slam on my brakes and have the car not rotate very much. So that's where I found the happy zone. Differential, 100 and 100. That's pretty easy, and that's it. That's all the car set up. So you got the wheel set up. You got the in-game setup, you got the car set up, you got the mods, you got everything. So we can go run tandems together like clockwork now. So I'm going to go hit some multiplayer and see who's out there shredding. Little accident there.